Hello, how are you all doing tonight? Happy Tuesday, here we are. And we are here on both platforms. So last week, struggling with Facebook, not quite sure exactly what happened, but it wouldn't let me stream to Facebook, so we were only on YouTube. Well, I take that back. So the normal stream that I do, normally the same video feed goes to Facebook and to YouTube. Last week, it wasn't working for Facebook, so what I did was I just pulled it up on my phone. And actually what I was going to do with that is I was originally just going to say, hey, meditation only on YouTube tonight, sticking around here on Facebook for just a minute, and then I just never went off live. I just stayed on it. So you had like a different view from my phone if you were watching on Facebook last week, and then YouTube was normal and regular as always. So, hey everybody in the comments, good to see you guys. Mary, Jess, Susan. I like that background too, so this is a new background, Susan. I've switched it up a little bit. I love my tapestries. Taurus sun, like my pretty things. Actually, well, Venus ruled sun and moon, so I really like my pretty things. So, let's get started for today, huh? Our intention, if you haven't seen it, I always post it on Sunday, so that way you have a little bit of time to work with it yourself, or just contemplate it, sit with it, see what happens, see what comes up with it, if you want to. And because I think like if you take a little bit of time yourself, to, even 5 minutes, just to see what the words of the intention invoke in you, like emotions or thoughts or anything that comes with it, that is something particular and in tune to you and your own energy. And that is something that, you may or may not be able to get from what I say, because it's coming from within you. So the energies can play out slightly different, but I think if you take that time, it's extra beneficial, but you don't have to if you don't want to. So this week, I see integration and duality. I see integration and duality. So if this is the first time you are saying the intention, take just a moment to think about those words and see what comes up. I see integration and duality. Words are on the screen. You can look at them. You can close your eyes. Just think about it for a moment. I see integration and duality. Think of those words together as a whole. Maybe pull the words apart. Think about I, then see, integration, duality. Throw the word and in there too. So, let's talk about the astrology that's behind it. So, a couple sign changes the week. The sun is now in Pisces, so happy birthday season to all of you Pisces suns out there that have a birthday coming up. Your season is here. And I always like to mention at the beginning of the season, remember that we have birthday season discounts. So there's a code on there if you are a Pisces sun, if you're looking for some sort of reading or service. There's special birthday discounts to you. It's just a nice little happy birthday. So throw that out there, meditativeastrology.com. So the sun has already moved into the sign of Pisces. That happened overnight Sunday into Monday. And then later on this week, on Friday, Mercury is going to be moving into the sign of Pisces. Last week we touched briefly on how Mercury and the Sun were starting to get closer together. That is playing out a bit more this week and next week for sure. So talk a little bit about that. So we have the two sign changes, Sun and Mercury both moving into the sign of Pisces this week. But the big thing this week is that we have Mars and Venus conjoining in the sign of Aquarius. So they have made contact with each other as of today. Both Venus and Mars were sitting at 5 degrees. And they're going to dance together through the rest of this week. So what you're going to see this week, if you were to look at the chart, you're going to see Mars and Venus coming together. This is the integration. This is the duality. This is really the heart of our intention here this week. So you see these two planets, the masculine and the feminine, coming together in the sign of Aquarius. So they're going to walk together throughout this week. So when you have a conjunction between two planets, you have the significations and what these two planets are working on and what these two planets represent, you have the two separate things and they start to come together, okay? So in an opposition where the two planets are sitting in opposite positions to each other, you have the possibility of polarity. So you have the push and pull back and forth. So you have where the planets can pull towards each other and then kind of push away. It's kind of like magnets. Depending on which side you turn it to, they're either going to repel each other or they're going to attract each other together. When you have the conjunction, it's like you have the two sides of the magnets facing each other, so they're going to come together the entire time. So these two planets this week coming in together, you have this feminine energy of Venus. Both are progressive and looking forward because they're both in the sign of Aquarius. We've talked a lot about Aquarius lately, so other than noting that Aquarius is very idealistic and very forward-thinking, I don't want to spend too much time on that because I don't want to repeat too much. We've talked a lot about Taurus and Aquarius. So you have Venus, the feminine energy, the planet of abundance and attraction and beauty, coming into contact with the planet of drive, motivation, action, movement, the masculine energy. So you have the more feminine, magnetic, attracting things to you type energy coming into play with the masculine, logical and pursuing or in sought of type energy, okay? So two very, very different energies coming together and they're melding together. So you see this integration of what we want and what we desire and then actions and movements and things happening, actually taking steps in the right direction, no matter how big or how small those steps are. So with these two planets coming together, Venus is moving faster than Mars is right now. So if you looked back a couple days, you would, and then fast forward through the chart, you would see Venus catching up with Mars. So we say that Venus is in the superior position or the perhaps more powerful position of these two planets. So that adds a little bit of lightness to it. That adds a little softness to it. If Mars was in the, let's say, the overcoming position or the stronger position, then you may have a little bit more rough and toughness. You might have a little bit more brashness. You might have a little bit more headbutting. When you have the two energies coming together, there is always that possibility. But with Venus being in the superior position, it feels like Venus is able to, in a way, she's able to kind of enact her strength on Mars a little bit, okay? So you have the feminine energy carrying that masculine energy. So that masculine energy that can be a little bit stubborn, a little hard-headed, maybe a little bit not wanting to listen to whatever's going on. Speaking of this in very broad terms, because it's different for everybody. But that energy that could be a little bit stubbornness, you have the feminine energy that comes around it and kind of softens it and guides it a little bit and makes it a little bit more receptive and a little bit more able to receive something. Or maybe in the process of receiving something, Mars is able to enact or give something. So the masculine energy, we tend to think of something that kind of gives something rather than like accepts and takes something. So Venus, also, the conjunction in Aquarius is at 5 degrees, so it's still within the first decan of Aquarius. And the first decan, so if you, little refresher, the decans are divisions of each sign that breaks each sign, which is 30 degrees, up into 10-degree divisions. So you have 3 decans for each sign, okay? So that's the layout and the backstory. Each decan has a sub-ruler of that sign. So you have the planet that rules each sign. So we're talking about Aquarius. The ruler of Aquarius is Saturn. But within each of those 3 little subsections of Aquarius, you have, let's say, a sub-ruler. So the first decan is ruled by the planet Venus. So not only is Venus in the superior position or the more powerful position as far as the aspect direction goes. But we are also having the conjunction in the decan of Venus. So it's also like, it's kind of like the first 10 degrees of Aquarius are kind of like Venus's little corner of Aquarius, okay? And then the next section belongs to Mercury. So that's like Mercury's little section. So it's a Venusian type area of Aquarius. So if Aquarius is looking forward towards the ideal, or the ideal that we think is there, that we're looking for, I always say that because perspective is everything, then here in the first little bit of Aquarius here, the first 10 degrees or so, 5 degrees is where the conjunction is starting. We have this forward-thinking and progressive-looking idealistic way of wanting to bring some sort of balance and harmony and some sort of level of balance of the things that we desire. And then you have Mars sitting right there. So you have this duality here. You have Mars and Venus both in this area. Remember, this is the decan where Pluto's sitting too, of wanting to look forward into something, okay? So Venus, as a feminine energy, is able to integrate different things and take little bits of things and put them together. So if we look at our intention this week, I see integration and duality. We see the integration of the masculine energy and the feminine energy coming together in Aquarius in a air sign that is intellectual and thought-oriented, but progressive. We think about the ideals that we want, okay? Aquarius energy in its own right is very idealistically progressive, or whatever we think, going towards the most progressive thing, or like the highest ideal state of something. That's what the Aquarius energy represents. And we have this within this integration of the masculine and feminine energy, and there's a duality here within that as well, because they're the opposites. With the masculine and the feminine, we have the logical within Mars, and we have the emotional within Venus. We have the grounded, firm, and asserting itself within Mars, but then we have the open, flexible, and receptiveness within Venus. It's really, really a neat way to bring together this Aquarius energy that we have been feeling for quite a while going on here. And then we have a full moon this week too. Saturday, full moon in Virgo at 5 degrees. So, second time you've heard me say that. So if you have any 5s within your birth chart, or anything within 3 degrees of that, take a peek at that and see how that correlates to what we have going on, because although Venus and Mars are moving together throughout the whole week, the conjunction starts today at 5 degrees. That's where they're sitting, is both at 5 degrees of Aquarius, full moon at 5 degrees of Virgo. So there is not an aspect between these two positions of 5 degrees of Aquarius and then 5 degrees of Virgo and then 5 degrees of Pisces for where the sun is going to be sitting. But if you have anything sitting at 5 degrees in your chart, like I do, I have my sun at 5 Taurus, see where that lays and see how you feel that playing out. So Sun and Mars will still be, Mars and Venus will still be sitting together at the full moon. So this integration of the masculine and the feminine energy is still within play while we have this point of fulfillment, height, and I think along with that, integration during the full moon. So if you think of the moon cycle, the first half from the new moon up until the full moon is a building period, okay? Then we get to the full moon, then we get to the height and kind of the climax of the period where things all start to kind of come together, and then we get the fruits of the labor of whatever was created with it from the new moon into the full moon. So you start to have the integration of whatever you've put together, and you start to see it come together in some sort of reality, whatever that is. So you have this masculine and feminine integration at the point of integration within the full moon. Virgo as well, right guys? So Virgo is a sign ruled by Mercury. It's very like, and it can be analytical and can be very organized and very well put together, very much mercurial things to be able to put little things together and integrate things together. That's a very Virgo type trait, to be able to integrate different things and different parts of things and make them work somehow. So I feel like there's lots of themes of this integration here. Mars and Venus will be squaring Jupiter, so we have this interaction back to Jupiter. We've talked a whole lot about what's going on in Jupiter with Jupiter and Uranus in the sign of Taurus coming together. So we have this full moon activating through this energy that we have through this masculine and feminine energy coming together, and coming together at the time of the full moon during this integration. And let's see. Looking at our comments here real quick. It looks like we have spam comments, so I'm not real sure how to get rid of those. We're just gonna ignore that. Anyways, that's on YouTube, so if you're watching on Facebook, you won't see it. So, hi Miranda, I love you too. It's good to see you here. Hi Melissa. Got distracted by looking over at the comments showing up on the side there for a minute, guys. Susan, loads of synchronicities lately. Yes, I love that. Things coming together, integration of things coming together somehow. And yeah, that is, keep acknowledging it. I know that you already know this, but just keep acknowledging it, and you'll see more of it pop up. So back to Jupiter. At the time of the full moon, at the time of this integration of the lunar cycle that we're in, at the height of it, where we have Venus and Mars coming together, this masculine and feminine energy coming together, we have a square to Jupiter. So it feels like Mars and Venus coming together here with the full moon. It feels like there's some sort of integration of things starting to come together where the work has been happening in Taurus. So where Jupiter, and we can even throw Uranus in there, where they've been working within your chart, and then that conjunction that we have coming up here. Yeah, Nikita, things are coming together for your house. I love that. That is so great. Yeah, so we have these really nice aspects of integration, duality, things starting to come together, things coming to fruition. We have a full moon coming up this week. And, you know, there's lots of, there's the mixture of masculine and feminine energy, but there is a height of feminine energy, it feels like to me. Also, right now, if you're watching this live on Tuesday, February 20th, then the moon is in the sign of Cancer. So the moon is in a feminine sign right now. So we have, that's an extra little tidbit of feminine energy. So thinking about that, all this feminine energy we have with Venus and Mars working together, but where Venus has a little bit of power, they're going to be coming into a square with Jupiter in the sign of Taurus. That is Venus's sign. We've talked a lot about the Venusian things that have been happening in Taurus within our life recently. Within the decan of Venus, all of this like feminine energy guiding the masculine energy. That's kind of what it feels like to me. So, you know, there's other ways we could have went with this intention too. But I don't want it to feel like one energy is overpowering the other. It feels more to me like the feminine energy is able to just kind of maybe soften the masculine energy that's going on. So with that being said, let me get the intention off here for just a minute. The card that we pulled for today, because I did decide to do that today, or it just happened. So you're not gonna be able to see it great. Queen of Wands. You know, meditating on all of the energies that we have here within this week and all of the feminine energy going on. And we have the Queen of Wands, wands representing our mind, the air element. Can't make this up, can you? It just comes out. So this height of feminine energy that we have within this lovely feminine energy of all of these feminine traits that we talk, this receptiveness, this ability to take different things and put them together, this ability to lead with a softness, yet a courage and a strength, all of that coming through in this queenly energy. And it very much feels like there is this queen-like energy. Actually, didn't talk about Mercury and the Sun either. So Mercury, when Mercury moves into the sign of Pisces on Friday, Mercury will be within 3 degrees of the Sun. So we've talked about how Mercury is getting closer to the Sun. They're getting ready to come into a conjunction that we'll be talking about that next week. But as of Friday, they'll be within 3 degrees of each other. So you have this integration of the of Mercury and the Sun, okay? So Mercury representing our mind, our thoughts, our communication, the way we process things within our heads, and then those tools and resources that come to us. Coming into a conjunction with the Sun, coming into a point of a turning point within its cycle. So we're not starting a new synodic cycle. That happens within the Mercury retrograde conjunction, but we're starting a new the second phase. So what does that mean? Mercury is moving from the morning star position into the evening star position. And if we were going to put a masculine and a feminine label on the morning star and the evening star, we would put the feminine energy into the evening star phase, and the more outgoing and extroverted energy of the masculine energy into the morning star phase. You could also think of it as like the youthful and mature energy. But we have Mercury coming into a conjunction with the Sun. And you know, Mercury itself does not have a gender associated with it. It depends on the position that it's in. It can be either masculine or feminine. Mercury is the shapeshifter like that in lots of different ways. So Mercury coming into a conjunction with the Sun and then moving into the evening star phase, it feels like another integration and another duality of the masculine and the feminine energy, because we have Mercury moving from the one position into the next position here. So the Queen is the high feminine energy of the wands here, and the wands representing our mental sphere. So the decisions that we make and the processes and the things that we subscribe to, the tools and the resources are coming into a new phase here that are, you know, hopefully going to bring us the things that we need in order to move forward. But I just thought when I was just focusing on all this feminine energy, I almost felt like, yeah, I don't know, it felt like I kind of like wish that card out or something, but that's not the way it works. The universe tells you what cards come up. And actually, when I was shuffling my deck today, a whole lot of the cards wanted to come out. They were kind of like all over the place. So I actually had to tell them to, okay, calm down. Let's talk for a minute. Let's feel each other as we kind of shuffle here a little bit. And then the Queen of Wands just shot right out. So yeah, just absolutely perfect there. And it fits with this energy that we have too. So thinking of the Queen of Wands here, you know, coming into a conjunction. So I'm thinking of Mercury coming into a conjunction with the Sun. Thinking about Mars and Venus coming together, where Venus is able to kind of guide Mars in a certain way. We see this integration and we see this duality of both sides, and quite frankly, it takes both sides. We all have both sides within us, whether you whether you are male or female, however you identify, or the traits that you have, we all have masculine and feminine energy within us, because there's other words that you can use as well. Masculine and feminine just resonate with me, so that's what I use. I do not wish to offend anybody, but it's a duality of energies that are within us. It's the introverted and the extroverted energy within us. You know, it's the knowledge that comes to us from external sources, and then that intuitive knowledge that is within us. Both are needed, both are important, and in fact, we all have both within us and within our birth chart. So I think this is a lovely energy for this week. I see integration and duality, quite frankly, after having a couple weeks of a little bit of mishaps. It feels like a good intention, and I didn't even really think about that until afterwards. So yeah, that's what I have as far as the astrology. It's really fun, you know, and last week, our intention was I allow authentic Venusian realizations to surface. So that was Venus and Pluto coming together. As these Venusian things start to come up, as we get closer to that Jupiter-Uranus conjunction that we were talking about in Taurus that happens in late April, you're going to start to feel these desires and these Venusian things coming forward, and you're going to be wanting to find balance and harmony in some sort of Venus-like way, and with bringing that within your life. So it feels very fitting that after we start to have these deep realizations as Venus comes across Pluto, as Mars moved across Pluto as well, that we now start to integrate the two of those. So we have like the big bombs go off, the big psh that brings like, that surfaces the information and like brings things to our forefront, like right here in front of us through Pluto, that we can't separate, we can't like let go of them, or at least not that we can't let go of them, that we are forced to face them and forced to handle them and deal with them in some way, and then we have the integration as they start to move away from each other. So I think it's absolutely lovely and I like it. So ready to move into our meditation? I am. All right. I want us to go into this meditation with this Queen of Wands energy. So however that resonates with you, whether it's being in touch with your intuitive side, whether it's being a little bit of receptive and a little bit of listening to things, or whatever it may be. Think of this high, queenly, feminine energy within your being and relating to your mind. Jumping back over to the comments here really quick. Melissa likes the card. Yeah, me too. When I saw it, like I said, it felt like I pulled, like, I don't know, did I will that card out? Not really, it just fits that way. Robert, hey, thanks for joining us. It's fitting, yeah. Venus guiding Mars, and that's, you know, like sometimes we need Mars to guide Venus too, right? But Venus guiding Mars, I like it. I like it. So let's get ready to move into our meditation here. So find yourself a nice comfortable position if you haven't already. I always like to sit up on a meditation cushion of some kind. If you don't have one of these, maybe you have a yoga bolster laying around, maybe you have a pillow laying around or a blanket. You can sit on whatever you'd like. It just brings your hips up a little bit and it allows you to sit in that position a little bit longer than you may have been otherwise. So nice comfortable position. If me sitting here talking for the last half hour has you a little bit like fidgety and having some energy, then feel free to get that out, whether you have to get up and walk around or just kind of shake it out like I am. Go ahead and do so. And then once you're ready to settle in, let's take a nice deep breath. And exhale. Good. One more time before lighting our candle. Inhale. And exhale. So as always, we have our intentional candle here. We always use a white candle because it's a color that can be turned into, it's a blank slate color. You can change this candle into any color you want it to be. This is a color, white brings clarity, purification, and openness. So there is a lot of ability and a lot of room for creation within a white candle. There is sage oil in these candles that I buy. I've talked about these before numerous times. So there is this cleansing and refreshing property and this protective property that comes within this candle as well. And then we infuse it with our intention as we light the candle. So it's really, really lovely and I like it. So we're going to light our intentional candle. If you have a candle, feel free to light that now, not necessary, but let's all focus on the intention together as we light this candle here, okay? So I see integration and duality. I see integration and duality. Now I'm going to light the candle. See the flame start to ignite, and then I see the flame start to grow. And as the flame grows, so does our intention. I see integration and duality. I use the word see here rather than allow or cultivate or bring forth. I see integration and duality. It's here and it's around. It comes to us magnetically through this feminine energy. You might have to work for it a little bit. Effort may still be necessary, but I see integration and duality, which tells us that the integration and the duality of the two different things coming together is here. It's not anything we're bringing in. Maybe we're going to bring in more. Maybe we're going to bring it closer. But it's already here and it's already available. I will totally share the candle link, Melissa. We'll definitely do that. Settling into our intention here. I see integration and duality. I see integration and duality. If you're ready to do so, go ahead and close your eyes. If you don't feel quite comfortable doing that yet, that's okay. Just start to try to soften your gaze. Perhaps you focus your intention and your field of vision to some sort of position that is just past the tip of your nose. It's typically, if you kind of look forward and slightly down, this is kind of a neutral position for our eyes where they can rest and relax as we keep our eyes open to continue physical and environmental awareness and attachment, while still coming into this state of relaxation. We always start our meditation by making a little room for the energy that we come to this space with. Always, always allowing ourselves to be honest and truthful while we assess our energy. Are you energized? Are you tired? Are you comfortable or are you sore? How about your breath? Is your breath feel shallow, or does it feel like each breath is nice and deep? Does it feel like you're rushing your breath? Or are you letting the inhale and the exhale flow as they come naturally? Let's check in with your shoulders and our posture. Are your shoulders tense or are they relaxed? Often in our rushed society, go lifestyles, we find that our shoulders start to rise up towards our ears, pinching nerves in our neck and our back. It can lead to tension, stress, and headaches. So lower your shoulders down. Perhaps you roll them on your back like I am. And as you lower your shoulders, you notice that your spine starts to come in a little closer alignment. Integrating our shoulders into the rest of our spine, grounding down through our body. And then once you've taken a moment to check in with yourself, let's start Slowly work to deepen the breath. As you breathe in, I want you to inhale. And the only goal here with the inhale is to have it to be slightly deeper and slightly slower than the breath before it. And then when you're ready for the exhale, you come with the intention and the goal of slowly releasing that exhale and let it breathing out for slightly longer than your last exhale. Start slow and easy. Breathing in and out. Integrating the inhale and the exhale. With each inhale, as you feel the air start to enter your body, it cools your throat, and as the air fills your lungs, your abdomen may start to distend, making more and more space for that wonderful, lovely air within you. Navel moves away from the spine, filling your abdomen and your entire being with this wonderful, energizing, life-giving energy. And then as you prepare for the exhale, you start to feel a shift within you. You feel a moment of duality where you are between the inhale and the exhale. And for a split second, you can feel both the energy entering your body and simultaneously some unwanted energy leaving your body as you begin to exhale. As you exhale and you start to feel the air coming up from your lungs, your abdomen and your navel moves back to a normal position, back towards your spine, integrating the front body with the back body. Next round begins with an inhale as you integrate the air from around your environment into your being, as you bring a little bit of the external world and universe into your own personal being, filling you with all the magic and love of the universe. Whatever that means to you, it leaves you feeling fulfilled, whole, and ready. Continuing to breathe in and out, feeling the integration of air coming into your lungs and into your being. And to offset the entrance of positive energy coming in, we must release something to make room for that. So we find duality here in a twofold expression where we release the air from within our body. And not only are we releasing air and toxins through the byproducts of our respiratory system into the air and the ethers around us, but we also release a little bit of stress and a little bit of tension that no longer serves us well. Perhaps we release some sort of doubt or some sort of fear, some sort of anxiety, just even for just a second. And that energy that perhaps has once served us well, but no longer does, leaves our personal being in this body, this vessel for this lifetime. And as we exhale it into the environment around us, our stresses and our tensions are integrated into a small part of the universe, where it is then carried away from us, far, far away, as it drifts further apart and dispersing. As we inhale, feel the integration of loving, positive energy coming into us, healing, revitalizing energy coming into our being. Energy of contentment and peace. Energy of strength. The Queen of Wands. Consider the Queen of the air coming into your being through the inhale. As Mars and Venus come together in the sign of Aquarius, 5 degrees, integrating the masculine and the feminine energy that is within us, integrating two sides of our being and our lives that perhaps have been a little distant from each other. Where do you see that? Where do you feel that? Where can the internal and the external energy come together? Where can the energy of what you pursue and actively seek out, and the energy of what you attract, what is magnetized towards you? Where can the energies of expression and compassion come together? Where can your logical mind and your intuitive mind intermingle a little bit more? The moon, currently in the sign of Cancer, its intuitively heightened home, the place where Luna can reside, and the watery comfort of familiarity and what we know to be true. And as she grows in light and luminosity, getting closer and closer to the full moon in the sign of Virgo, moving through Cancer, and then through Leo, finally into the sign of the Maiden, into the sign of Virgo, where we find integration, where we find service and ability. Meanwhile, the sun has entered the watery land of Pisces, Mercury not too far behind it. Where we find the emotional recall and the emotional recollection, community understanding, creative expression, contrasting the integration that we find in the sign of Virgo. Duality. The full moon is about the integration of two different things, two opposing signs. As Mercury moves closer and closer to the sun, we see the integration of our mind, our thoughts, and our perception. We see the guider of souls and Hermes himself coming into contact with the all-knowing power, with the sun, with the Godhead above us. Infinite knowledge in our mind, integrating, finding that duality that we need. Venus is strong. Her interaction in an air sign with Mars, the god of action, drive, and war when necessary. Leading us to the Queen of Wands position today. How lovely is that? Venus in all her power and all her glory, and the Venus-ruled decan of Aquarius, guiding Mars while coming into a square with Jupiter during the full moon in her own home sign. Feminine strength. Before we close our meditation tonight, as we continue inhaling and exhaling, let's integrate our breath and our physical body together. Feel free to take a peek at the screen if you need to. Starting with my hands down on the floor next to me, whatever surface is right there. Grounding your hands down next to your sides. And as you inhale, slowly swoop each arm up, out towards the sides, breathing in. Inhaling till your hands kiss and touch overhead. On the exhale, we slowly slide our hands down through center, perhaps palms touching in prayer position as they come towards our chest. Good. Releasing our hands down to our sides once again as we get ready for another inhale, breathing in. Hands come up overhead at the top of the inhale and exhale through center. Good. Releasing your hands down. And continue this cycle just a couple times on your own breath. Breathing in. Integrating your physical body with your energetic body. Finding a duality of stillness, place of meditation, while being able to find a little bit of movement at the same time. Perhaps once or twice more, or whatever feels right to you. Take one more nice deep breath in, inhaling, and I exhale, my hands down in prayer pose, palms coming to chest. The energy from the left side of your body, the feminine side, and the right side of your body, the masculine side, coming together where your palms meet in the middle. And taking that connection, taking your hands, these tools and resources that you have with you every day, plugging it into your chest, into your heart space. That heart chakra that is the bridge between your lower body and your upper body, energetically and physically speaking. So here, just find a moment of peace and contentment within the integration and the duality that you are seeing, experiencing, and bringing closer and closer to you. I see integration and duality. I see integration and duality. The ability to go forward and the ability to rest. The ability to provide and the ability to receive. As always, thank you, thank you, thank you for joining this space. Absolutely could not do this without each and every one of you here every single week. So thank you for being here as you're able to, or all the time. So I appreciate those that stop in, no matter how frequent or infrequent it is. Whether you watch live or you catch the replay, there is not a whole lot that won't be applicable if it's during the replay. So feel free to share this. Maybe little tidbits like today I mentioned the Cancer moon. So the moon will be moving out of the sign of Cancer, but all of the aspects that we talk about, they are in play for this week. So yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There's a couple comments, so I'm going to take a peek at those really quick. Melissa, I will get you the link to the candles. I don't have the name of the shop in front of me. Sometimes the Stone Sanctuary, I think that's what is Etsy's shop, the Stone Sanctuary, but I will send you the link for that. Sheila, is there a way to get notifications prior to the start of these sessions? Always miss them. Oh, so Sheila, for either you can go to the Meditative Astrology page and you can click the little dots to where you can get notifications, so that way you get notifications from my page. Then you're going to see every time we post something or every time we go live. But we also have, if you're participating from Facebook, which it looks like you are, there are always events on Facebook that correlate with each week's meditation. So I am somebody that forgets about things and doesn't always, I'm just busy. We are all busy and things are not always at the forefront of my mind. So I am somebody that if I was not hosting this meditation, the Facebook events would be helpful for me. So Sheila, if you go to the Meditative Astrology Facebook page and you go to the events tab, you will see that there is an event for next week, and you can respond to that, like going or interested or whatever you want to do. And then you'll get a notification for the event. I believe if you want to get a notification like on your Facebook notifications when we go live, if you go to Meditative Astrology Facebook page and click the little dots in the get notifications, or it says something like that, then you'll see those things. So I'll look a little bit more into that part to make sure that's right, and I'll maybe post something on the social media pages about that, just showing how to get notifications about things that we post. So yeah, everybody, if you're on Facebook, go to the event tab and respond to the event for next week. So even if you don't need that reminder, it is a nice way just to kind of like help us expand a little bit. The more people that interact with, not only our posts and our live session and things like that, but the events as well, the more the algorithm monster is going to take it and disperse it. So the more people will find it, share that event with anybody that you think would be interested in joining us, and share the live stream. You can find the replay on both Facebook and YouTube. Am kind of considering the possibility of migrating to specifically YouTube. So if anybody has any thoughts about like not streaming on Facebook anymore and going, migrating over to just YouTube, if that would be something that you would either like say yay or nay to, feel free to, spell that out like in the comments, or personal messages are always welcome and appreciated too. Just kind of throwing that out there. Not that that's going to happen anytime soon, but I don't know, just thinking about the different ways that we do these things and whether I should be reaching across multiple platforms or if I should be focusing on just one, and that would be YouTube. So I hope you all have a great week. Remember the Queen of Wands that we have here. Remember, with all this feminine energy that we have, all this power that Venus has, and we pull the Queen of Wands, the high feminine energy of the mental sphere, of air, okay? And I love that it's the Wands too, because I said air, huh? Wands of fire. So the fiery energy coming in here of the Queen. So this queenly energy within Venus and the power that she has. Go forward with that, and yeah, make way with that. So yeah, I think it's a great week. Happy full moon in the sign of Virgo. Happy Pisces season to all of you Pisces suns that are out there, and I will see you next week. Remember that there are hey guys, showing up. Hi, I see Sean and I see Melissa. I'm glad you had a little boost for today, and I hope that you have a boost for the rest of the week. I am praying for each and every one of you. Melissa, special prayers and love to you too, okay? So let's go forward with this week. Let's go into the full moon with this integrating and duality energy, this queenly feminine energy that we can go forward with. But guiding with a little bit of a softness and the integration of both here. We need to have softness and we need to have hardness. We need to be assertive and we need to be relaxed at the same time. So That's all. I probably said air because I just got on here and you're in Aquarius. I love that. Yeah, you know, that's the thing about doing this on live. You know, you get like the whole thing. You get mistakes and bloopers and everything because there's nothing pre-recorded, and you like get me in the full realness of whatever that ends up being. So, the queenly energy, the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Fire. Anyways, the point is that we have this feminine energy that is around all of us, and it is just absolutely wonderful. Venus is bringing forward-thinking energy in Aquarius right now, and as these things start to come to fruition in the sign of Taurus, Venus is in power there too. She's calling the shots right now. So, have a great night, have a great day, have a great week, and yeah, have a good one. Love you all, and I appreciate you. Look on Sunday for a new intention. Find the Facebook event if that's something you're interested in, and I'll see you next week. So, have a great night.